Great to see you again. How are you?
Hey, Jennifer, I'm doing fantastic. Wonderful, beautiful weather today. How are
It,
you?
it really is beautiful, but the weather kind of trips me up a little because it goes from like cold in the morning to like really hot in the afternoon. And then by my evening appointments, it's like freezing again. So I'm like, what do you wear?
That's North Carolina for you.
All right, On Time Lawn Care LLC. We're going to talk about getting homes market ready.
Yeah, so Angela Ruiz here with On Time Lawn Care. Thanks for having me on today. So, as a lawn care and landscaping company, we get a lot of calls from people, from clients who are about to sell their homes. And as much as they want to do it DIY, they call the professionals for their advice and see what we can do to help uh, make the selling process go faster. Bye bye. I think one of the biggest things to selling a house and to do it quickly is curb appeal, and that's something that we're really great at. Not just us in general, but landscaping companies, landscaping companies in general do that.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, people make a decision sometimes as soon as they get out of their car. As they're walking up to the door, they're already looking around at the yard, literally saying to themselves, oh, I think I really like it here. Or, oh, this is not, this is not going to work. So, shabby landscaping or overgrown bushes, it's not going to work.
No, and the craziest part when you're selling your home is detaching feelings from that. You want to sell the home.
Right.
And the best way to do that, in my professional opinion, is to have an outside perspective, a neutral perspective.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's important
what,
too, because your home, which is your home, which is emotional, becomes kind of like merchandise. And that's a tough pill to swallow if you've been living there, making memories there. And so that detaching, as a real estate agent, we try to walk them through that. Like, wow, that must be really tough for you, to separate from your memories and your house. So we're sensitive to that. How do you deal with that with landscaping?
I also talk to them and just explain to them, in my perspective or in our perspective, what we think might help with our previous experiences with market readies, and just give them some general advice on what we can do to make it better. Um, Building relationships is key though, and usually
Absolutely.
if they're speaking with us, they've either gotten our number from word of mouth, from a referral source, or something like that. So they already have a bit of trust built with us. And I think that they find that important. And that is very important to have that trust already built. But that's I basically want them to trust me in order
Yeah,
for
I
them to
think
sell their
that's
house.
important because if they want the advice and input of a professional, they have to be able to trust you. If they've already moved away from the possibility of trying to do it themselves and they've committed that, the fact that a professional way is the better way to go, they're definitely going to want to go with somebody that they trust and not just going to overcharge and do something that they could have done, but like just charge extra money. And I think it's important that they see your value. How do you express to them, like to show them the value that you bring to the table?
Well, I mean, past the fact that we're family operated and women empowered and we support our community, I think they can just genuinely feel that with our vibe. And let me assure you that market readies, when we do a market ready, it should be affordable.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be super expensive. We don't want to make them spend a whole bunch of money. If they wanted to do that, they could have done that a long time ago when they were still living in the house.
Right.
So I just give them that cool vibe, that trusting vibe, and we communicate and we talk about what's best
I
to
love it.
sell the house, and we usually can work from there.
So, what are some of the top three things maybe that need to be done to spruce it up quick?
Ooh, people don't often think about this, but I think one of those things is edging.
Yeah,
Edging
I
is
totally
huge
agree.
when it comes to concrete, your sidewalk, your
So,
driveway,
edging,
the street. Yes, hedge trimming.
hedges is a big one because if they're overgrown and covering up the house, we're not market ready. Hedges.
Yes, absolutely. And bed cleanup.
Oh, good one. All right. So, how do you do that? You
So
get
we'll
all
get all the
the
weeds out of there.
leaves out of the flower beds. Yeah. And this time of year, that's
Yeah,
really
we'll get all the
important, I
weeds.
guess, because there's so many leaves that are falling from the trees. it takes a little bit of time to get that stuff out. So that's a very, very, very good point.
It does. And for the beds, there's a very affordable option. We can put pine needles in the beds, at least for temporary, to prevent all that stuff from being there. So we can kind of give it a fresh look pretty fast for an affordable amount of money.
I have a fun fact about pine needles. Us down here in the South don't think that there's anything weird about it, but if you show a house with pine needles to a person that's from up north, they go, "What the heck is that?" And it never occurred to me that they just don't have pine trees. So they didn't understand why we would use that as bedding. And I'm like, I don't know, it's pine needles. I think pine needles do have,
It's not my favorite.
they have acid though. The pine needles have an acidic quality to them that's good for certain plants and not good for other plants, right? It's something I heard.
That's a possibility. That's a possibility, yes. But when you're selling your home, if you want to go with a more affordable option, pine needles is the way to go. If you want to keep a more long-lasting effect, then you can do another ground cover like mulch. Then there's other things that come with that, like termite bond and all that stuff. So
because when you put mulch close to the house, it can it like sort of attract the subterranean termites?
Yes. So I actually asked for whoever we install mulch for to commit to getting a termite bond or some type of termite pest control, because it's like putting food right next to your house, so you want to avoid that if possible.
I feel like you really go above and beyond when you mention that to the homeowner about a termite bond, because like if you could just put mulch in the yard and just not say anything about it at all, it would just be so easy. But that's such an important key point. I never really thought about that before.
It really is.
Landscaping timbers and wood.
Yeah, and rotting wood, not to mention. So your railroad ties that have been there for 10 years, they're probably infested. But on top of that, did you know, fun fact, that there are 12 termite colonies in every 1 acre of land?
I don't like that. That's not a fun fact. That's a jaw-dropping, staggering. That's Well, awesome.
Yep. So when you put mulch by the house, you're inviting them.
Exactly. You're just bringing them. Well, they have to live somewhere. So when we just put out wood or nuggets of wood and borders, we're just kind of inviting them into our house, basically.
Yeah, and we'll do it, but I need a commitment from the client that they're gonna maintain that, and they're gonna have all the securities put in place, because what you don't want to do is spend $1,000 to get your foundation.
No, good point. All right, cool. So if we wanted to get something, say I wanted to get a house ready for my client, I've got a couple listing appointments coming up right now, and sometimes they'll ask me, this time of year is tough, how do we handle the landscaping? I'm going to send them to you, and you're going to say what?
I'm going to say, thanks so much for calling. I'm going to give Jennifer a thank you for sending me my way. What are you looking to do with your property? How quickly are you looking to market it? Put it on the market. What are the things you're kind of looking to do? And they'll tell me, I think this can use some shaping up. I think the tree over here is leaning too much over the roof. I would just kind of like to open it. They give me whatever their opinions are, what they'd like to see. And then I'll just give them a general idea of what we can do for an affordable price where they can get the house, the pictures taken care of, and get it on that market.
Perfect. You have so much knowledge about this subject. I'm really excited about it.
Thank you. And you as well. This is what you do.
This is what I do. I get homes market ready. So next time I have some market ready sellers ready to get that stuff going, we'll just reach out to you and see what we can make happen.
Oh, that just sounds perfect.
All right, Angela, we'll talk to you soon about maybe another topic, and hope you enjoy the rest of your beautiful day.
You as well, Jennifer. Until next time.
All right, take care. Bye.